The Crew 2 in the big 2026 has released another update. I'm gonna be honest, did not expect this at all, but this was posted over on their Twitter, and as you can see, this is in relation to the hybrid update. If you've been living under a rock, online or offline mode is available on the Crew 2, and this is a project that will come forward to the Crew Motorfest. It's not really a secret to anyone that the Crew Motorfest was built on the Crew 2. I mean, the game's that's how game development works, alright? Unless you're switching engine or something, but hey, there's still foundations. Forza Horizon has been using the same car model since you were born. Now, just to clear up as to when I expect it to come to the Crew Motorfest, very likely, very clearly, it's going to come to the end of the life cycle of this game. That's kind of what they did with the Crew 2. The game is now in a kind of a state of just foreverness, which is fantastic. But going back to the Crew 2, I had to use the same Bugatti. It's so cool to see. Of course, this car is basically from this game. That's fine. That's fine. It's still there. Okay, let's talk about the changes then, because you already kind of know how this is gonna work. The game works offline. You can move your save game from the online to the offline. So what's actually new? Why did they feel the need to do this update? Which, by the way, is kind of sick that they did it at all. Previously, the issue was the liveries. They were not actually accessible or creatable in the offline mode. Now, this is not the only game that's had this problem. Gran Turismo Sport also had this problem, that the system for creating liveries was literally tied to the multiplayer aspect of the game in a way that basically made it impossible, to the point that in Gran Turismo, if you had liveries on the cars, they just disappeared. They were all gone. The work you put in or the work you took from someone else was gone. Well, here it is. Now it is fully available, so you can go in, create a livery, which is really awesome to see. Like, this makes me so happy because there were actually community people really concerned about this. I mean, there's so many super talented people in this community that obviously you want to keep the livery and design of. So to show you it kind of functioning, we'll go back to the online mode. As we hit all the targets, this is another one that's quite ironic, actually. The back to login screen button. This was a thing for the PS4 era online games. They just didn't have a button to do this. Now you can. So you can, for example, be in offline mode, and then you can go back to the menu and jump to online, or vice versa. So that is really nice piece of functionality. Makes it super easy, so you don't have to quit the damn game, basically. That's all you had to do. I remember in 2015 having to quit so many times to get back to the menu. What reasons was it to get to the menu? The PvP, for example. So anyway, here we are on the online section. You can generate new offline saves as often as you want, but let's jump in. I'm just kind of thinking, like, what made them actually, because to be quite frank, they didn't need to. The game was functional offline. Like, it worked. But it really feels like Ivory Tower do such a good job in the background of, like, again, I guess this is something that people would have liked to see for Motorfest, so they may as well have done it for this game. And of course, they were really disappointed with the state that the Crew 1 was left in and how it's just shut down completely. Like, it almost like it crept upon them, or they weren't able to do what they wanted to do. And although I prefer the Crew 1 in practically every sense, we still have what kind of made the Crew 1 like the biggest element, and that is the full United States map. It is still here. It's slightly different, but nonetheless, it's still as enjoyable to drive across the country, and you can continue to do that now forever. Like, they had no need to really just keep adding to this, but the fact that they are, I respect it, honestly. And the fact it means continuing, going forward, all the Crew games surely will follow this formula. So what they say is in offline, you can now create liveries. There, you'll be able to find liveries you've created offline and those you saved from the online. That's really cool. You can also create and save sticker groups as you can in online. And that's not it. So if we now go into, for example, the top 100, if I want to find a livery that I really like, for example, okay, let's find one I like. I can now not only apply this, but I can save the livery offline. That means the livery, so there's a maximum of 750, fine. But the fact is, I can save other people's liveries and keep them forever, which is great because I cannot design anything for shit. I'm not a livery designer. There are some really, really talented people out there. And so the fact that this, again, we know, not only is it going to be in this game, but also in the Crew Motorfest, and the amount of extra functionality that's built into Motorfest, it makes sense to build it here. and then build up with Motorfest when that offline mode arrives as well. They're doing such a great job to kind of reconvince me to spend more time in the game, and I think that's clear that that's what they're kind of aiming for. And that is still not everything. They've added another cool piece of functionality that honestly might be one of my favorite things. When you dedicate yourself to a game, and I think it points to exactly what I was just talking about as well. When you put the time in, you grind things out, you spend the effort, the energy to get the things you want. I want to know how long you spent doing those things. And in The Crew, you can kind of do that. In most games, you can kind of do that. In The Crew, you can come through this menu and see what you've spent time on. How much time you spent in cars. 90% of my time, for example. Oh, in hovercraft. That's pretty funny. For example, you can see your favorite vehicle, how many miles you've driven your favorite vehicle, your top speed in different vehicle categories, your best jump, your social scores, the number of friends you've got. I think that's the limit to the PlayStation. All these stats are super important, and previously they were not there in the offline section, which is kind of not great. But as per the update, they have now added to the offline mode, so we're gonna go and check that out as well. I am gonna move my new save across because this one I've definitely progressed a little bit more in. And I'm gonna use that new button to do it. Oh, generate a new save? Yeah, I'll do it from this menu. And then the other one, back to the login screen. This is exactly how it should have been. A kind of warning before the shutdown, but the ability to do the offline. Like, they're doing it now. Hybrid mode now available. Yeah, and I've been playing it. Okay, so now if we go to my profile, go to pilot, my stats on the screen there, and there you go. Now, they also do work and build offline as well now. So again, though, if you do offline and then do a new save, basically I would still say online is kind of the best place to play right now still, obviously, unless you're offline and maybe you just want to be fully offline. You don't care about the online stuff. But if you've been playing The Crew since the beginning, it still makes... This is why it's a win-win for even Ubisoft. Like, it is absolutely still way better to be playing this online than offline right now. It just kind of creates a little bit of a backup. It makes the consumers feel more confident in purchasing your games, spending time on the games. And now the fact that we have kind of convinced Ubisoft to let us have this, I don't see them going back on it. It just doesn't make sense. And now the next time I hear someone jibber-jabbering saying, oh yeah, but you know, the game's an online game. The fact that there's offline functionality at all is really impressive. Shut up. Don't care. 7 years after the game came out, we're still getting updates. It's over 7 years. I think 7 years is the low rounded number. It has been a long ass time. This year is going to be the 3rd year of The Crew Motorfest, for crying out loud. And also the little stat where it says distance, that is also working. So again, distance will work, distance will count. You see how much time you spend with the cars. It kind of makes sense that it's all just kind of an integrated functionality between the few. I do think it would still be really nice to get some offline functionality of the Summit at some point. For example, right now, it just doesn't function at all. Look, they've got the replaying system built already. Again, I guess that's server-based. But this is my, like, one point that I do want to bring home. This would basically perfect it. I don't know if there's anything else beyond that I would really need. Oh, there's also something else that was quite interesting to notice as well. The PlayStation Store, or the Steam Store, or whatever. The stores also got an update. Also, real ones will know this music was also the Crew 1 for some reason. I don't know why they didn't change it. Right, go to this, and you'll see there's 3 new packs. The American Summit Pack, the European Summit Pack, and the Japanese Summit Pack. And you know, look, the game's in its end game. They're trying to make a little bit of monetization to kind of fund continuing, clearly making more updates. So, I don't know if I could really complain about it. It's also like £4 for 3 cool cars. Well, you know, you're gonna be... I can't make the decision for you as to whether it's good value or not. I don't think there's a need to really buy any of these. But I do kind of think it sucks a little bit that when the offline mode comes around, we'll be able to get access to these. And so your only way would be to buy them, but then they'll probably delist everything. But then... You see? The Summit... Cycling the... easily still one of the best Summit cars they've ever made. Just... look at it. I think there's like 1 car from each pack that I would have. This one right here. It's just... I can't help but feel anytime someone says, oh yeah, it's always online. I'm gonna stick my fingers in my ears and go la 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 la. Ivory Tower did it. Not only did they create possibly the best update system of a generation, mate, the Crew 1 basically created live service with its updates, completely changing the game basically every season, every drop that they did, in, you know, for better or for worse. But the fact is, they created I'm turning the wrong way, the foundation for everyone to start doing it, and everyone else has done it worse. Okay, to be fair, Need for Speed Unbound updates were pretty good as well. And you got Test Drive Solar Crown talking about, yeah, we'll discuss offline when we get there, but facing potential shutdown, but you know, we'll discuss it when we get there. Bro, what do you mean you'll discuss it when we get there? To be fair, they could probably just release like a server emulator that way, and that would be like, yeah, that's not too crazy to think about. They could also do that, but yeah. Either way though, what my point is, Ivory Tower has once again created a standard that I now expect from everyone, otherwise I will be very, very angry. Gran Turismo 7, for example, is an always online game. We know for a fact they will definitely create an offline mode. As they did with Sport, they're just gonna do it. We know they're gonna do it, but they're just not as vocal as anyone else that's, you know, in existence. I just then hope the fact that someone else has done it, they themselves with Gran Turismo, make it so that the liveries I've applied, the paints I've applied and such, will continue to exist when the game is gone. There's now a standard, and it's once again set by Ivory Tower. Them bloody French! They know what they're doing, apparently. Oh, and I haven't forgotten, I did say once the offline patch was kind of here and in its, I would get myself a Crew tattoo, so I think the time is ticking. I've run out of excuses. They've kind of done it. Time to get another tattoo. I'm going to be branded by Ivory Tower. Hey, do they have any, like, tattoo artists at the studio? Hey, maybe next time I'm at the studio, you can tattoo. No one? No one? All right. Surely someone has the ability. It'll be someone on the art team. Someone on the art team. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you still don't know the full details as to what came in this offline mode, you want more in-depth details, and of course, do know that it's coming to Motorfest at the end of its life cycle. It will happen. Kind of the reason they're building it on this, because then they can build it for both. I'll link that video in a place that is accessible. And thank you so much.